I feel like I'm quite alone in my opinion of Whacking Day, and that's that this episode is a pretty average episode of The Simpsons. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good episode, but I feel like just based on things that I've read online, people I've talked to who are fellow Simpsons fans, a lot of people really love this episode. And to be honest, I personally feel like it's mediocre. We have some interesting character development from Bart, but generally, I found it to be just okay. This is the 20th episode of the 4th season of The Simpsons. This was directed by Jeffrey Lynch, and it aired in 1993. Now, I have to say, first of all, I love how it starts. It starts with Principal Skinner rounding up the school's troublemakers and basically locking them in a cupboard because there's a school inspection and they don't want them around. Genius idea. It's like when schools send the not so well behaved children on a school trip when it's Ofsted Day. But Bart gets into a bit of bother and ends up being homeschooled. And he learns some information about Whacking Day. Whacking Day is a tradition where you club snakes to death. And I don't know if that's one of the reasons why I don't like it, because it's not so much that the episode is celebrating that. A lot of the residents are, absolutely. But I think the episode is a little bit more neutral than biased towards celebrating whacking snakes. But Bart takes a very interesting opinion on this that I wasn't expecting, and it makes his character a little bit deeper and certainly a lot more interesting. And I really enjoyed seeing Bart's character develop throughout this. Needless to say, Lisa is not a fan. But we do get some very interesting animation with Homer preparing or training for Whacking Day. And I have to say, it is quite nice when you see the town rallying together in favour of the same thing. It's just unfortunate that it's all for Whacking Day, but I do like seeing, there are certain episodes where you get so many characters from the town, and that's what we get here, and that aspect of it I liked. But I don't know if it is the fact that they're talking about whacking snakes, and that's why I don't like it. I guess I just don't find the subject matter that interesting. Maybe moderately interesting, but generally speaking, it's not my favourite. There's nothing about this that I thought didn't work. As I said, I thought their approach to Whacking Day was quite balanced. Not the residents of Springfield, of course, and Bart certainly provided some really interesting information and a really different viewpoint that I wasn't expecting. Lisa is definitely as expected. So some of the characters really were fascinating and I enjoyed what they brought to it. The subject matter just didn't interest me that much. Is it funny? Yes, in places, of course, it's funny. It's The Simpsons. It's always going to tickle me in one way or another. But I just feel like it's lacking something that speaks to me personally. So I'm aware maybe it's quite a unique approach to not love Whacking Day. I'd be interested to know what you think of it, if it is an episode that you genuinely really like, or if you're kind of on the fence with it. I don't mind watching it. But if I'm going to choose an episode of The Simpsons, Whacking Day, let's just say Whacking Day would not be my first choice.